Was a girl running in our group. She had a high-speed motor in a 40 Ford coupe. She had a racing cam and a supercharged. Look out, buddy, hot rod and large. She's a hot rod. She's a hot rod.
Got a lot of different things going on in this car business now, and we got to talk about them. And I'm remiss if I don't bring stuff up. And this is true. I mean, this is all stuff that, wow. All right. Audi joins the VW brand Porsche, cutting 1,000 jobs in Germany. Yeah, baby. Here we go. Volkswagen Group's Audi brand will cut up to 7,500 jobs in Germany by 2029 in areas such as administration and development. The costs, or the cuts, should save 1 billion or 1.1 billion greenbacks, 1 billion euros or $1.1 billion a year in the midterm, Audi said, adding it was investing a total of 8 billion euros to build new models in its German factories. Well, we don't have to worry about that because we're not going to get them here. That's not going to happen. The job losses at Audi bring layoffs currently planned across VW Group to nearly 48,000 workers. 48,000 workers. The VW Group CEO Aller Bloom is pushing for cost cuts across the group to become more competitive. God, if I had to get rid of almost 50,000 workers, VW brand has launched a cost-cutting program involving 35,000 job cuts. Porsche plans to cut 3,900, and software unit Carguy plans to slash about 1,600 positions. They're not giving up. They're not giving up. Audi's deliveries fell 12% last year, and the brand struggled in the markets, including China. Audi, they're I don't know if they're with the times or if they're not. I don't know if they're that good or what they are, but all right. Now, your car does not run by your foot or your hands or your brain. Your car runs on chips. That's the new thing now. This is cars that run on code. How chips changed the vehicle. Much of what a modern driver does is thoroughly divorced from the mechanics of common sense. Listening to a favorite song or back and forth with a speech, that kind of thing. A prayer, cruising off to the sunset with hands off the wheel, and eyes on the open road. Wow. These features are enabled by the increasingly important role of the semiconductor as a part that went from mere important component to the beating heart of the modern car. And it is. This is serious. Semiconductors, even relatively early on, enabled things that would be almost impossible to do otherwise. This is Harrison Zhu, XUE, however you say that, managing director at BCG. So let's just get this straight. Your car is analyzing you're driving, it's analyzing your area, and it's analyzing so it can adjust your car and trying to make you do what it wants you to do. And it's going to make you drive right. Can you imagine? I pull out of here every morning about 7:15, and I almost get run over every time. I look down, there's a car coming, but it's way down there. I pull out, and this guy goes flying around me. He must be doing 90. Well, that kind of stuff is going to stop because the car's not going to let you do that. And that's, I don't know that I like that. I don't like Big Brother is watching. I don't like being told I can't go 80 mile an hour because it's over the speed limit. Then why do you make a car that goes over 80 mile an hour? Why don't you put something in the trans and let it stop at 75? Why? Well, they want to control us, but they're going about it the wrong way. They're doing it mentally. And I don't think that's going to work in this country. Well, I have a little something here I want to talk about, and all I have is a little something because there's not a lot out on this yet. But it's there, and it's worth mentioning. It's more than worth mentioning. It's important that I mention it. Stop-by-wire. Brakes go electric. First wire systems coming soon from ZF Brembo. Suppliers are readying the software-defined car's next puzzle piece. The braking, the way brakes operate, hasn't changed in 100 years. The driver presses the brake pedal. A master cylinder pushes fluid through a series of pipes to disc brake calipers and wheel cylinders inside of drum brakes. The pressurized fluid moves pistons that squeeze the pads against rotors, and in some cars expands shoes against drums to slow the vehicle. That's what we're driving now. That's what you're used to. Well, that basically has been the standard system since the 1920s, when Augie and Fred Duesenberg equipped their Duesenberg Model A with four-wheel hydraulic brakes. Ooh. But now, more precise computer-controlled electronic components are about to be replaced with low-tech hydraulic. Brake-by-wire can use artificial intelligence and algorithms to improve safety by shortening stopping distances, and keeping vehicles more stable under emergency braking. I'm going to tell you something. I'm not a fan of this right now. I'm not yet. I've been through electric braking before. Here's another story on this. Continental predicts brake-by-wire solutions will become standard technology. And Continental's been around forever, man. Within 5 to 10 years, Andreas Zwick, who heads innovation and engineering in Continental's safety and motion business area, told Automotive News. Robert Bachman, who manages Continental's future brake system projects, said that the German supplier is bullish because of the interest he is seeing for the lightweight, space-saving, wow, easy for me to say, Chuck, alternative to the hydraulic systems. I'm going to tell you, for those of you that have never been there, and I have been there for over 50 years, underneath your car is a mess. All the road rash, all the road water, all the rust, all the garbage, all the crap. Anything you can run over, it can get stuck to the bottom of your car. And if it gets stuck to the bottom of your car in the right place, it can break a wire. If it breaks a wire, you now have no brakes, or you have no tail lights, or you have no backup lights, whatever. But this whole thing of brake-by-wire is giving up too easy. We're having problems right now with brake lines that rust out. They're changing the brake lines around. We're going to get different material, yada, yada. This brake-by-wire thing has almost got to be foolproof. They're going to have to run the wires from the compartment, the engine compartment, up into the ceiling and across the ceiling and down and out in the trunk. They cannot put it underneath the car. They can't subject these wires to undercar pressures and stresses and just debacles. I mean, you get under that car and it just drips on you, and you look at it and there's just junk everywhere, rust, pieces of cable falling off. That brake-by-wire is fine the first year you own the car. Maybe. But if they run the wires under the car, I'm not making any bets on it, because you just can't stop. And you won't stop either. With one wheel not braking, it's going to tell the computer, shut down, or go into some kind of mode where they're going to lock you up, and that's it. You're done. The other thing is, Chuck, and I just can't imagine this, Amazon is now eyeballing used car sales. They were selling new ones, while Amazon continues to refine its new car shopping platform with customers Amazon expanded the program from a closed pilot to a public beta at the end of 2024, enabling customers in 48 markets to use the site to purchase a Hyundai vehicle. Hyundai is Amazon's launch partner, but the online retailer has expressed interest in working with other manufacturers. Amazon Autos, now in 68 markets. The guy Jin, he's a fan Jin interview. He said, Amazon Autos are now in 68 markets, Fran Jin said. And that's up from 54 markets it announced alongside the premiere of a national ad campaign with Hyundai in January. Do you want to go? Chuck, I got to ask you a question. Now, you buy cars. You just bought one. You know cars.
I try not to buy them too often, but yeah.
I understand that, but you know cars.
I buy several of the same one, apparently.
Would you buy a used car that you've never seen?
No,
I mean, you buy a Carvana that's up on the 17th floor.
Right.
They bring it down, put it on a tow truck, and take it to your house.
Right.
Because they told you it has this amount of miles on it.
Well, and so we actually did go through this, you and I, because, traditionally I bring, if I have an uncertified car, I bring it to you to get inspected. In this case, the last vehicle I bought came with a Ford warranty. So I think the one question I would have is, do you trust the warranty behind it? I might buy, you buy a lot of things sight unseen. You buy a lot of things on Amazon. You buy things that comes in a box at Best Buy or whatever.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, obviously the car's a big deal, but I guess that would be my bigger question is, if I buy this car and I get it home and I discover something that you didn't disclose, can I turn it around and go, nope, I don't want something I would have caught?
See, I don't know what the rules are here. I do know that they would love to have Amazon selling their cars. I think the car manufacturers are kind of fed up with the system, and they're fed up with the salesmen.
Right.
And they just want to quit paying all these people to sell their cars.
Well, and so there's all these things that, again, I'll give you, for instance, the last car that I test drove before I bought this one, there was a lot of interior like scratches and things like that. It looked like it was a newer car, but it looked like it had been all scratched up, like it had been through some
kids. Yeah.
Bunch of kids or what. I mean, even like being a parent, I can always tell when there's been a car seat in the back. You can always tell kids, so stuff like that. Or even maybe it smells because they drive their dog around every day. Something that you're not going to disclose that on Amazon. Oh, by the way, it smells like dog. Or my new car, I think they smoked in it, right? So, I mean, again, if you're a non-smoker, you get in a car, you go, yep, that's a smoker's car, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, stuff like that. Are they going to disclose that?
Well, I would imagine they have to.
Well, that's what I'm asking. Is
well,
like,
here you're
do you disclose? Hey, it smells like wet dog in here. Or my buddy puked in the back seat one weekend. Like, are you going to put that in the disclosure?
You're talking about going online to a retailer that sells toilet paper and buying something like a car.
Hey, Tom, why are you walking to work? Where's your car?
It's in the shop. They said it won't be ready for 2 more days.
100,000 miles on it, and they want to sell it for X amount. I got to see the car. Even if I like it, 100,000 miles isn't that much, but I got to see the car, and I want to see a Carfax report. I want to know if it's been wrecked.
Well, and that's what I'm asking is when you buy a car from a dealership and it has, like I bought a Ford, it has a Ford warranty behind it. I know Ford's a legitimate company. I know they'll stand by their product.
They're not going.
But
anywhere,
if I buy an Amazon or I buy I buy your pick, an Ocean.
Okay, now you tell me. Yeah, Fisker Ocean.
You get a Fisker Ocean.
Let me just ask you. You buy a car on Amazon, where do you take it for service?
Well, and that's the other question. I mean, that was, again, we talked about that issue with Tesla when there are certain states that were saying Tesla can't sell a car unless there's a place to get it fixed in the state. But even then, now you've got one car repair facility in your entire state?
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
That's just not going to get it. Not going to get it. I don't think that's going to work, but we'll see. I mean, if Amazon wants to sell new cars for somebody, that's fine. As long as there's less than 100 miles on it, I'll buy it.
And that becomes a question: is can you have fly-by-night companies start selling rebadged Yugos or something on Amazon? I don't know.
And plus, I got to get in the car and see how I fit.
Right.
For a long ride, I got to be comfortable.
Well, and I think what you might find though is, like in the case of Tesla, you may end up in a situation where you go somewhere and sort of sit in a car. And you're right. I sat in a couple of like a Nissan. They say, oh, it's very comparable to the Ford. I just wasn't comfortable. So you're right. You may find yourself in a situation where you go somewhere and sort of test fit the car and go, yeah, I'll take one of these, and then you order it.
That's how I ended up with the Edge I'm driving now. I fit perfectly in it,
Right.
and I have no problem driving it. So the car's got to suit you too. Just remember that the car has to suit you also.